so for tonight's video, we are going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to do a full class. We're just going to talk about how to defend against a hook punch. Obviously, these two have been pent up inside too long, and that's the aftermath. So, all joking aside, this is one of the most common assaults or common attacks in the self-defense scenario. A right-handed hook punch to the head. Because most people are right-handed, and that's the typical attack. It's typically an untrained attack, a big swing. We're not talking about a boxer's hook punch or a boxer's crossing punch. We're talking about just kind of an uncontrolled, big out from right field swinging punch. So a couple of things to keep in mind here. So let's close the distance a little bit. Automatically, the first thing you need to be thinking about is Zanshin. Zanshin is, we're just going to kind of boil it down to our own common terms, is awareness. You have to have some awareness of the situation. You have to be able to notice that somebody's coming in, they're approaching you, they have an intent to hit you or to strike you. Sometimes the hands can just be down here, but the fists will tighten up. Or maybe they're actually approaching you from this type of a position. But you need to have awareness of the situation. That means you need to be mentally engaged with your opponent. That means you have your own intent against the person that's assaulting you, but your body also has to be engaged. So we don't want to be standing like a barn door. We want to kind of blade the body, turn the body to the side. But you don't know where this technique is necessarily, or this attack is going to come from. It could come, he's walking this way by the side and the attack happens. All right? Or it can be from the front or from the other side. But the point is, you have to be engaged. All right? So that's the first thing. You have to have Zanshin, you have to be aware, you have to engage with the attacker. The next thing is understanding the distance. All right, where is this punch coming from? What's the distance that it's coming? From right here, she's attacking, that hook punch comes in, she's taking a full step, she's countering the step. You're not going to be able to figure all of that out, but you have to feel that distance. Then, in order to be able to respond to it, you have to negotiate that with your own feeling. So your hands are up, technique is coming in. Are you going to move away from it, or are you going to move in? If the distance is far, maybe you want to move out of the technique. Yep, so it's timing. Move out of the technique and then cover to cover that distance, or you're going, if it's a closer range, you're going to move in. Most of these attacks are going to happen at a close range. Somebody walks in, they get their distance, they're really close to you, and then the punch comes in. Right? So in this particular case, he needs to have his hands up and be ready as she approaches with the punch, and he decides that he's going to move his body in. All right? Let's change the other side attack. So now, Aiden, you're going to attack Juliana. The hands are up. She has pressure. He has intent. She also has intent. If she's waiting for the attack to happen, the hook punch is coming in, and she's waiting, she's going to get caught with that technique. So if her hands are up, she's telling him, I don't want you to attack. He moves in, and she covers that technique. Now, how do we cover this type of an action? All right, so step back. Couple of things here. You must cover, you want to think about covering the head. So typically the punch, that hook punch is going to be going for the jaw. So you want to be covering, but you don't want to be so close this way that you allow the full momentum of that technique to come in. Now sometimes, if we're inside like this, that may be what we have to do in order to cover up. But I want you to think about using some of our ideas from kata, like Heian-yondan, okay? Or Heian-nidan. So this action, Basai Dai, this action, right here. Most of these types of feelings are protecting the head, the neck, the heart. They're creating a sphere from which you can work. So I'm moving in. Now I've created the space where I can work, but I want you to also notice that I'm achieving a strike at the same time. So I'm coming in, strike. I can come in with my forearm, close fist. I can come in, use an elbow. But the point is, I've got to get my body shifted inside that space and create a counter. So let's try it a few times. Okay, Aiden, I want you to attack Juliana first, about 5 times. Hands up. You can try this at home with us. Your hands are up. You always want to be talking with your hands, talking with your body, but this is your way of engaging. You're automatically starting to feel with your hands out in front. You can feel pressure. Like if you're pushing on that person and they're pushing against you, you should be feeling that intent and that pressure. Okay? Then, once the punch comes in, I want you to move in and catch. Let's do it again about 5 times. So the hands are up, punch comes in, cover, and strike. And we'll go into that next. Okay. All right, let's do it with some kiai, some energy. Again. Okay, all right, other side attack. Again. Okay, very good. So you can see they're covering the distance now. This is still prearranged. They know what the technique is going to be, what the attack is going to be. So let's take the timing, let's change the timing a little bit. A lot of times people don't just come up, so I'll be the demonstrator now as the attacker. The person doesn't just come up and take a step in to hit you. Maybe they go like this, they maybe fake you a little bit. All right, or maybe they're kind of like this, and then they decide they're going to come in with a technique. How do you handle that? Well, this gets a lot more technical, but the principle still applies. Is you have to be engaged with your opponent, but you're not waiting. Okay, so if she's going to attack me, I'm not waiting for the punch. I want you to notice my body posture. I'm waiting for that punch to come in. It's like, don't hit me, don't. And all of my energy is back. I want to have my energy in, and then I move in. So I caught her timing almost before her body moves in. I'm engaging with the technique. If she fakes me, my body doesn't break. When she fakes me, I'm in. She fakes, I'm pressed, and then I move my body in so I can make that action. So I'm engaging her, and I move. I'm actually almost initiating the technique. This is high level timing. Understanding of timing takes lots of training. You can't just apply a technique without timing and distance. This is where skill comes in, timing and distance in order to make the technique effective. But for right now, let's just think technique. We're not going to work so much with this having to do it on timing. We'll just take the prescribed technique, cover it, but now we have to make kime. So let's come back again. And Aiden, I want you to attack first. When she comes in, her whole body has to be engaged into this technique. All right, and let's turn the angle just a little bit, okay? And now this time, one more, I want you to engage. Keep the angle. I want to see from this angle. So the hook punch comes in, kiai. Okay, this can be verbalized as a kiai, just breathing out, contracting the body, making that energy, or it can be stop, back. It can be a verbalization of what you want him to do. Again. Stop! That needs to be stronger. Again. Stop! That's better. Okay, now we need to go to a secondary level. We can't just rely on only one technique to stop the attack. She needs to do multiple defensive defensive techniques in order to make the opponent so that they don't want or can't attack anymore. So we're going to go to another level. She's made this first strike to the head. Now I want to go right from here into a knee strike. So I want you to bring it tight, not around, tight, straight in, front. Okay, I want you to use your hip and pull into it. Remember the body dynamic. Okay, watch. So I'm in like this. I don't want to keep my body bent over. Not bending over into this. I take all the energy out. Knee. Okay, I'm going to point my toes, knee, into this technique. Okay, I can come around, but knee in. And I'm using my base leg to drive up into the technique. Okay? All right, so let's try it. Stop! Oh, you went like this. I want you to use your hips. Drive your hips into it. There, that's better. Again, pull, drive. Again, use the knee with ki. Okay, so let's do it one more time. Strike right into the knee strike. Or hit into the groin. So now we gotta incorporate target. So you hit the body, hit the groin with the knee strike. One more. Still like this. Yep, so your distance. Bring this, so you're inside, you're hitting right here. Knee! Just don't hit it. But use that energy. Drive up into this. Remember, our dynamics. Lifting power, dropping power. So now, lift, drop. And so we're going to get the opposite. Lift, drop. Okay? Try it again. Yeah, and then drop. Elbow. Okay. Again. All right, other side attack. Then drop. Bring her down into that knee strike. So bring her body. If you're inside, do the knee strike, bring her body down. Knee strike up, body comes down, then pull. And again. Okay, so you can see the effect of this technique. Now, one more thing that we're going to add to this is after the attack, we've made a defensive action. 1, 2. Now we're going to go to a control, a position of control or takedown. You can disengage from that point if the person is incapacitated and they've dropped back. You can disengage from them, but it's best to take them to the ground. So you're going to take out their not only their ability to attack you, but their ability to continue to come after you, trying to incapacitate them to the point where they are now transitioned to the floor, all right, so, or to the ground. So go from this attack one more time. 1, 2, pull him down, pull him. Put him in where you want him to go. Knee, then down. So pull his body down and then straight down. Okay, let's try it again. You gotta put him where you want him. And again. Do the elbow first, then take down. Okay, good. All right, switch sides. One thing to note here, maybe your opponent's tall, okay? They're a lot taller than you in this particular case. Okay, so go 1, 2, he knees. Now he doesn't have a whole lot of ability to now get any energy on this technique. So now he can just pull straight back. Or he could do a double knee strike. Try it one more time. Faster. More energy. Bang! Bang! With that knee. Bring it in. Strong. There. That's better. Okay. Good. All right. One more feeling of control here is to do a rotation on your control point. So they attack, sliding in. 1, knee strike. So bringing this one right into the groin. Bring this back. 1, 2. Then you can go into a turning takedown from here. You can disengage with the hands all together. One, I can hit here, then drive back, knee, inside, elbow. I can turn this way. So any type of control position from there that you want to go to. But now the body's rotating instead of just pulling them straight down. Inside, knee, rotation. Okay? Try those a few times. Other side attack. Okay, very good. Find each other with the guy. Ready? All right, so that's just a little bit about how to stop a hook punch. If you found this information helpful, make sure that you like, subscribe, check out our website in the descriptions below.